Good day, OA. My name is Lionel Garcia. I'm your Vice President of Sales and Agent Development, and I'm excited because today is Monday. So welcome. And every single Monday, I love to host our Motivation Monday, and it is awesome. It's another great week. I have to say, last week was a lot. I was down in Fort Lauderdale for Cruise 360, and there was a lot of things that were happening. And so I'm excited to be back here with you, back to get to it, right? Let's jump into the things that I love, and that is talking about our wins of the week. And here's the thing. Everybody has wins. Sometimes though, those little voices in our head, the little dark thoughts, they remind us or they cloud us of all the wins that we're having. So I want to know, what are your wins of the week? It's time for you to drop them in the comment box, share them. I want to know, what are your personal wins? What are your big wins? What are your business wins, big or small? Was it following up with the client? Was it a conversation? Was it a referral? Did you finally post a reel on social media? What is it? I want to know. And I think I see one here. So let's jump in. Oh, Brian, you missed me. Yes, no worries. But I want to know your wins. I know you've been busy, Brian. What have you all been doing? Hello to Tatiana. Thank you so much for coming in. Tell me, what are your wins? I can tell you on my side, my wins of the week was last week was a very busy week at Cruise 360 down in Fort Lauderdale. Had the chance to meet a lot of our supplier partners, but here was the best part, and I was so excited. It was that on Wednesday evening, we hosted a cocktail reception and had a chance to meet with many of you, many of our agents that are part of the OA family that came by and visited with us, and that was awesome. One of the things I loved the most also was how many newer agents were there that I got to meet for the first time. So that is my win for sure of the week. So let's continue to celebrate. Let's see what we have. Brian, I love this. You're tracking your targets. You're tracking your goals. Your wins is that sales are up 23%. I love that. Karen, your win, not getting too down brick and mortar, taking longer than anticipated, still trying to post and hope new agent. Excellent, Karen. You haven't quit. That is a win for sure. It's easy sometimes to just throw in the towel. So kudos to you, Karen. And look here we go. Brian supporting that. Keep going, keep grinding. I love it. This is awesome. So let's go in and jump into our motivational moment. This week's topic is turning conversations into leads. And here's something super important that we need to remember, right? And that is the fact that most travel bookings are not starting with a sales pitch. No, you're not always pitching. You're not always selling. That's why so many of you sometimes don't even call yourselves sales people or sales professionals. These sales come with or start with a conversation. These are conversations that might begin with a casual comment, or maybe a shared story or experience, a moment of curiosity. And so you don't need to always sell travel to every person you meet. Now, again, this conversation is going to be more so for the in-person type of conversations, but you simply just need to plant seeds of travel. And this is what's really interesting, and something to keep in mind is that seeds. What is a seed? A seed is something that's subtle, right? It's natural. It creates curiosity without pressure. So think about these conversations that you are already having. Think about the conversations you're having with friends, with family, with neighbors, with coworkers. Who are the people that you're connecting with at school events, at the gym, the grocery store, or online? It's just as easy as sparking conversations. And now I know many of you, travel might not be your main source of income. It might be your second job or your second career, or it's your third, maybe it's a part-time. But at the end of the day, when someone asks you things like, hey, what do you do for a living? How are you answering it, right? Are you saying, I'm a travel agent? That kind of keeps it closed-ended. They might wonder who's buying travel through a travel agent these days. So why don't you try planting a seed? Like, I've been helping a lot of families plan incredible vacations lately. Huh. Or I just worked on an amazing trip and it reminded me why I love what I do. Or so many people are already planning travel for later on this year. You know, I have another example, and I love this one. This is one of an advisor friend of mine. She's not one of our OA agents, but sadly, she had a battle with cancer, and as she would go into her chemotherapy treatments and doctor visits, she would say hello to every single person she would meet and ask them what they were doing for vacation later on that year. Who doesn't love to talk about their vacations? Oh, wait, maybe they don't even have a vacation planned yet. Maybe they haven't stopped from their daily grind to look up and see that, oh my goodness, I need a break. And so what an open invitation to connect with somebody at any time and say, hey, what are you doing for your vacation this year? And let them tell you, oh, I don't have a vacation plan, or yes, I do have a vacation plans, or no, I don't. And then that opens the door for you to say, oh, wonderful. I've been planning vacations for a lot of people like you. This is the perfect time to be planning summer, or this is the perfect time to be planning next year's summer or spring break. So don't forget that these statements invite that interest. They spark questions. They open the door. So your role truly isn't to convince, it's to create awareness. And that's all you want to do, because when you speak naturally about what you get to do and you keep travel top of mind, when people are ready to travel, you know it, they're going to think of you. And that's exactly what we're hoping to accomplish. All right, so let's see. We got two more comments here. We have Brenda finally invited all my contacts to follow my Facebook business page. Excellent, Brenda. Great job. Congratulations. I love that. And this is wonderful. That was really nice. That is a big win. So great job. So let's go into our call to action in planting 3 seeds. So here's your call to action for this week. I want you to plant 3 travel seeds in everyday conversations. Don't worry about selling. Don't worry about pitching. Don't look at it as pressure, because you're not pressuring them. Just create awareness. Listen for those opportunities and share casually. Take the pressure off that you're trying to sell, or that you're trying to go around the corner to close a deal or to get them to book, but just share what inspires you, what motivates you, what brings you passion, because so many of you chose this profession, chose this role to create travel dreams, travel memories, and to build a better place for the world. So I want you to continue to be curious. Don't look to be convincing. And remember that seeds don't grow instantly. So I want us to kind of think of ourselves as farmers, right? And all salespeople, when I used to be a supplier, I used to think about myself as a farmer and tilling the ground. And after you till the ground, you throw seed. And not every single seed is going to hold and take root and start to sprout. But you need the right amount of water. You need the right amount of light. You need the right temperature, the right humidity. And then sometimes you might have to throw seed again. Then eventually you get that harvest. And yes, you end up hitting the jackpot, if you will. Your harvest is greater than you can carry, larger than you've ever imagined. And everyone looks at you and says, how do you do it? How is it possible? You must be an overnight success. Which button did you press? What silver bullet did you shoot? And what they forgot to see is that you were always just planting seeds, and you're planting curiosity. You're planting information. You're reminding people and creating awareness of the beauty of what you get to do for a living, which is to put people on magnificent vacations and be their value interpreter. So when that timing is right, those seeds are going to grow beautifully. So remember that. That is super, super important. All right, I like to close with our quote of the day. And this week's quote of the day is opportunities don't happen. You get to create them. So often these opportunities start with one simple conversation. So don't miss it. Have the conversation. I'm sure you've heard the famous quote from Wayne Gretzky that you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. So remember, create curiosity, build awareness, plant the seeds, and you can find that success. So don't forget your call to action. You want to plant 3 seeds over the next week on your conversations that you're having today. So thank you for joining on Motivation Monday. This was awesome. Continue to speak confidently about what it is that you get to do. Share your passion naturally and trust that all of those little small moments can and will create very big opportunities. I want you to keep planting those seeds, and I look forward to seeing you next week, Monday. It's going to be awesome. Have a fantastic week. Bye-bye.